the entire New South Wales coastline, from the Victorian border to the Queensland border, is being told to brace for the worst of Mother Nature over the next 24 to 48 hours. There is a huge rainstorm sitting off the coast that will either cause minor or major flooding or cause havoc on our roads. The message is take care. The mid-north coast, the upper Hunter around Kempsey and the Macleay River area is now on a major flood alert. In Sydney, the flood emergency remains around the Hawkesbury, Nepean and Georges River. Torrential rain overnight on an already soaked Sydney has put 54 areas under an emergency evacuation order, and 16 more are being warned they will need to leave at short notice. There's more rain on the way too. First, let's go to Kenny Heatley, who's live for us. More homes were flooded overnight, Kenny. It's not going to be the end of it either. You're at McGrath Hill in Sydney's north. What's going on there?
Well, the rain has backed off a little bit in the past 10 minutes, Laura, which is good news. But checking the radar, I think we're just in a little bit of a gap, and there's heavy rain either side of us at the moment. So I don't think it's going to last long at all. But we're at McGrath's Hill, as you say. We've tried to get to Pitt Town, which is which is cut off at the moment. The roads are just all cut all throughout the region here. The reason why we were trying to get to Pitt Town is because we've been hearing the SES have been launching boats to rescue people from Church Street. So this is as far as we've gotten. But you can see in the water here, that looks like either a semi-trailer that doesn't have its wheels on, that is bobbing up and down. I actually think it's tied to something because it is swivelling around in the flood water, or it's a refrigerated container. On the other side of the river here, you can see there are homes that have, halfway up the garage, you've got flood water, so they're completely inundated on the other side. And these are scenes that are just so common now, and it is so much worse than yesterday. We were out here yesterday, back in Windsor as well, all along the Hawkesbury and Nepean River, and we're talking to the locals here, and they are saying that it is worse than last week, and it is worse than last year already. So we are looking at the worst flooding in many decades. Here's more from the SES Commissioner.
There is no past history similar to this event. We've come out of the La Nina, or we're coming out of that. The ground is saturated. The forecasts can never tell us exactly where the heavy rainfall is going to fall, and the flow of the water has been quite dramatic in relation to this event.
Kenny, there's been flood rescues overnight. More people have been forced to leave their homes in the west and southwest of Sydney. But what's happening right across that region?
Yeah, so as the floodwaters expand, it just collects more and more suburbs in its wake as well. And we saw floodwaters rise so quickly overnight, and we saw thousands be told to evacuate their homes, sometimes in the middle of the night. We'll start in the Camden region. We've got pictures of there. You can see homes, businesses, service stations, sports clubs, underwater, cars in the water as well. People were told to evacuate in parts of Camden by 9 p.m. and then other parts of Camden by midnight. And many people have spent the rest of the night in evacuation centres, unable to get home. Here's some locals from Camden this morning.
They've just come along, SES, and told us it's going to be potentially 600 mil higher than last year's flood. And if that's the case, that would mean that we'll end up with the whole of the bottom of the house will be gone.
It's like a military operation drill, yes, where we get all the furniture up. We now have a set plan and a set way of doing things.
Before we weren't ready at all, we just copped it, and yeah, it was bad. But this time, yeah, we're a bit susceptible as well, hoping it doesn't go as high as what they're saying it's going to go.
But Laura, it's the unknown of how much rain will continue to fall. Back to you.